A metaphor of the mind, from limitation to freedom, showing the power of gratitude. Magic happens. A transcript from Dick Harbour's collection. In my NLP consultancy practice, I had a married woman in her mid-30s come to see me on a Friday afternoon after work for just one session. She came on the recommendation of a friend and was not really sure what I did nor what I had to offer her. Now, my usual practice is to let the client determine the pace, content, and direction of the session, while I use my toolbox of NLP and other skills, which include the following: gaining rapport, paying very careful attention, or using high acuity, both listening and watching, maintaining a non-judgmental attitude of curiosity and interest, knowing when to intervene, knowing how to move from one sensory system to another, using the very effective notice, think, notice, think, notice, ask, notice, think process. Follow her lead as her subconscious mind reveals her way of representing her issue, and her unconscious mind updating and resolving the issue, supporting the updates that automatically happen. So we chatted for a while as I gained rapport, offering a glass of water, listening intently, using a warm voice tone, nodding sympathetically, and so on. As she relaxed and felt more comfortable, she told me quite a bit about her life, most of which I didn't need to know. It was her way of feeling accepted. Two things stood out. One, she mentioned in passing that when she was about 17 years old, she had been diagnosed with a medical condition, which she did not specify to me, which meant that she could not have children and that she had to come to terms with that. Two, the second was more immediate in that she was unhappy at work in a real estate office, felt she was unfulfilled there and getting nowhere. In fact, she said, "I feel like I'm hitting my head against a brick wall." Here is the metaphor of the mind, as she was not really hitting her head against the brick wall at all. She was talking to me, but that is what her situation felt like. So this is the time to intervene, and it went like this. So I asked her, "This brick wall you feel like you're hitting your head against, what does it look like?" She looked puzzled, so I added, "What color are the bricks?" You can close your eyes if it helps. Here, I accept her reality with curiosity and interest. Also, I am changing her focus from the kinesthetic, or feeling system, to the visual system. I did this because she was aware of her feelings, and change is much more easily accomplished in the sensory system that we are not aware of at the time. She closed her eyes and said, "Ah, they're yellow bricks, like the yellow brick houses." Me, keeping your eyes closed, just thank the brick wall that you feel like you're hitting your head against for showing you it is made of yellow house bricks, and tell me what happens. Client, "Oh, the brick wall fell over," she exclaimed with a look of surprise. Me, thank the brick wall for falling over, and what happens then? Client, "Oh, the bricks have broken up into large chunks like rubble." Me, thank the bricks for breaking up into large chunks of rubble, and what happens? Client, "They are now small pieces like the size of large gravel." Me, thank that, and what happens? Client, "They are now pebbles forming a path." Me, thank them for forming a path, and what happens? Client, "The path is winding through a field of green grass." Me, thank the path for winding through green grass, and what happens? Client, "Some trees are now spaced along both sides of the path, which is slowly rising up a gentle hill." Me, thank the path for leading up a gentle hill through some grass and trees, and what happens? Client, "The path leads to the top of the hill, and I see a panoramic view with the sunrise on the horizon." Notice all I did was ask her to notice and think, and to notice and think as I kept asking what happened. At no stage did I suggest in any way what might or should or could happen. That all came from her. Also, I allowed her to determine when the process was finished. With that, she opened her eyes, smiling, relaxed, and said, "That feels so much better. My future feels much brighter and more promising. I'll keep you informed of what happens in my life." She happily paid my usual fee and she left. For information, the session took about 45 minutes. Gaining rapport, information gathering, and then the actual intervention took about 5 minutes, 50 minutes in total. On Tuesday of the following week, she called the office to thank me again and said that on Saturday she had resigned from her job and had started a new job yesterday, where there were career prospects and in a field she enjoyed more, and she was impressed by how easily and smoothly it all had happened. Some 6 months later, she called to let me know that surprisingly and happily she was now 3 months pregnant with her first child, which she previously had been told was medically impossible. So, when the metaphor of the mind was updated, her life changed. For me, the magic is the following. I don't have to try and figure out suggestions of how to make her life better. She, in other words, her conscious ego mind, also does not need to work out how to update her outlook. Like many other similar cases, the subconscious mind is more than ready and willing to be updated when noticed and thanked. Usually, the subconscious is waiting for the conscious mind or ego to become aware and give permission for change to happen. The process is not driven by willpower, which takes effort and can be short-lived. Rather, it is driven by love power, which is robust, effortless, and abiding. In other words, it continues without fading or being lost. My working theory is that the unconscious mind, which I believe to be far more conscious than the conscious ego mind, knows exactly what each step in the process needs to be and will perform the updating of the subconscious gently, lovingly, easily, and elegantly. In my theory, I equate the unconscious mind with our spirit or our being, and once it is given permission by the free will conscious ego mind, it will take the required steps to update the subconscious, which is where most of our unresolved issues are found.